Non-fungible idiots, don't you know? Banging our heads to the rhythm of the code. We don't care about dollars or the shiny blade. We're just holding to zero. It's our everything. Round tripping positions, that's how we roll. We won't make a dollar, won't sell a thing. We're the zero holders, our anthem we sing. Zero holders, our anthem we sing. Zero holders, we're the kings of the sea. The non-fungible idiots who live in the tree. We're all on the zero, it's our way to be. In the world of NFTs, we're wild and free.
My guys, look who's back. Look who's
Yo,
freaking back.
it's
Yo,
your
yo, yo.
boy, Henry the Grape. I'm back here, and I'm here with Huda.
You get better at that every single time, man. Good shit.
What's up, man?
What's up? Good to... Man, we haven't done a show in like a week.
Over a week for me.
At least... You're right, because the previous Friday, I don't think you were on.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, that is spot on. I was in Nashville. I was going to Bitcoin Nashville. Came home on that next Saturday, and then went back to Nashville. So,
busy man, dude. A busy man.
Busy. Yeah, it's good to be back. I hadn't heard the song, dude. I was, our intro song, and I'm like, oh shit, I was feeling good and spicy, and happy to be here.
Dude, the song's
we haven't
fucking
even caught
great.
up.
No, and I think you've been kind of unplugged too. So, like we've been chatting throughout, probably just DMs. I think we talked once in the past week, but I try to keep you plugged in, just knowing how busy you are. And I'm like, hey, you're ready for this Donald Trump token, right? And I don't know if you had heard about it at that point. So
No.
we were at least talking. Henry's still engaged in being a proper fucking degen, but I don't even know if you followed the whole saga of that. What was it? Restore the Republic token. Like, I'm not sure what you've kept up with in the past week.
Dude, so I'll tell you what I've kept up with. First off, the Donald Trump token. I was in the airport probably 30 minutes from boarding when I got that message from you. And I was freaking out because I'm like, man, the Wi-Fi on the plane sucks. I don't know how I'm going to buy this. I didn't know anything about it, and I just didn't know that I'd be able to have the time to like fully grasp it, but was getting ready to degen into something, having no idea what chain it was going to be on. And I'm like, fuck, I don't have my Trezor on me. So I was unprepared. I've been following Bitcoin, just like I don't even want to say degenning into Bitcoin, but I've been swing trading it a little bit.
Oh, shit.
I got I bought 53, sold a little at like close to this last top, and just played like a little swing on there. I was like,
Pretty fucking impressive, man. You don't normally do that, do you?
Never, dude. Never. It's just like, I don't want to say I'm getting better, but like, I'm just getting better for not being a trader at reading like the emotions. I'm like, I'm not like somebody who sits there and does like immense TA. I just looked at Bitcoin when it was 49, 50K. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Like this just doesn't make sense. And this is just fear. So, I waited a little bit too long. Like my conviction wasn't fully there at 49 or 50, but at 52, I was like, yeah, this is where I need to get in. So it's been following Bitcoin, obviously, like been working on Kong shit still. But otherwise, like I saw some ordinals mints, like Octoglyphs I almost bought. I got a Node Monk down at 0.11, give or take.
Oh, nice. Good entry.
Yeah. So, that's like, I'm like, you know what? I don't know if like my exit on that's like 0.3. I don't know. I haven't figured out like where I want out.
Yeah.
But
you don't want to ride that to the top. You know my thoughts on crazy ass thoughts on prices, which even English doesn't agree with, but I believe it still.
You want to know something? I bought it in a burner specifically because like once I vault it, it's impossible for me to sell.
Oh, the node. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Why is it impossible to sell?
Like a couple reasons. One, like people follow my wallets. So like I don't like getting DMs from people on why'd you sell this or why'd you sell that or
Gotcha.
so like I
Wait,
feel like once it
it's a psychological thing. If you put it in a burner wallet, do you feel like you can sell it easier?
I'm like nobody knows.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody has any idea.
Smart.
And I got one that doesn't look like I showed you, I think, in a DM. I think I did. But I got one that
cool
wouldn't be
looking.
like stereotypically I try to buy ones that like are grapish, you know, whether they're eye patch or if they've got like purple and this one I'm just like, no, it's got nothing that feels like me. So
Oh shit, I thought he was pink.
nope, not even gonna talk about what color he is or
I
nothing.
thought he was
I don't want anybody.
brown.
He's like robotic, isn't he?
Well,
We'll look at him after.
Yeah, yeah, it is a robot. Interesting.
Yeah. So
Cool beanie.
Is that a beanie?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't figure out the traits on these things. Not gonna lie.
I like him, man. I like the monks. I really like him. I still think I think people are fucking up. I do
dude.
like well, dude, I did another like price prediction little segment, last week, and most people think I'm fucking nuts, and I get it. But I still see that scenario. I still see 1 or 2 Bitcoin floor, and I still see crazy ass scenario at like 5, like peak, like for a few hours, maybe a day. It's just like fucking unheard of. But I still see it. I still see it.
So do I, which is why I got one. I think this is what happens when you're in euphoria or you're leading up to peak euphoria. You think of these things, and everyone agrees with you, right? Like 1 to 3 Bitcoin or 2 to 5 Bitcoin. And then when the market crashes, which we all expect at some point it's going to have massive corrections, people that haven't been through a lot of cycles start to second guess everything. And they're like, well, yeah, but like that was only going to happen on this leg up. And they don't realize like, no, this is just part of it. This is part of NFTs. This is part of trading. And I think you have to buckle down and really remember what your mindset was when you thought things were going where they were going and stick to the plan. And the thing is, like when Node Monks were on their trajectory up to 0.9, you would have been paying, God, you would have given anything to buy one at 0.4,
oh my
right?
God, right?
So to see one, in the 0.1 range or puppets at like 0.069, wherever they were, it's just like, man, these are the opportunities that you have to remember what you believe in. And yeah, there's certainly risk involved, but I think you and I, and a lot of people listening have been through enough cycles to know like, no, this is just part of it. And I feel just as confident in all the things that we thought would happen now as I did back then. And because what was that, 3 months ago, 4 months ago?
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's funny too,
good.
looking at Node Monk's floor. Like even when they were 0.4, nobody felt like, and this is how it'll work. Nobody felt like the cycle was over, or barely had even started, and that's the only reason they were able to get to 0.9. Right? People like it's that greed that kind of takes over in that what if scenario. So people are like, 0.4, it's a lot, but I know they're going higher. I feel the energy right now, and everybody plays very emotionally, right? And very, very short term. So of course people are going to buy it when they start running. When they get to 0.2, people are going to remember how high they got. Of course they're going to buy at 0.2. Of course they'll keep doing it 0.3, 0.4, all the way up till 0.9. And then that's where things start getting really stupid. So
you know
God,
what?
I can't wait, dude.
I think to not believe that, then you would have to think that the all-time high of ordinals collections, which effectively, correct me if I'm wrong, would have been Node Monks running up to like 0.9, on that large of a collection. I know there's other collections that have run to multi-Bitcoin floors. But like on a 10K collection to run to 0.9 when Bitcoin was, I think 60,000 to 70,000, somewhere in that range, then you've got to believe that the all-time high of ordinals was only going to max out at what was the equivalent of like 1.75 ETH at the top of the mega NFT run that we had in 21, 22.
So I'm checking right now. They hit that all-time high price March 2nd. And on March 2nd, we were at almost where we're at now. I don't know if I can dial it right into that date. Let's see. March 2nd, Bitcoin was 62,000. Basically where it's at now.
Yeah.
Like very, very, very close. Yep. And people chase there. All-time high is going to get people going just fucking nuts. In fact, when Bitcoin hit that all-time high was March 13th. The peak for, let's see, what was the peak? Well, the peak for monks was March 2nd. Okay.
By the way, I got to correct my stupid math. Because I said that the peak is like 1.75 ETH. I meant like 17 and a half ETH. Like that the all-time high of a Ordinals collection would be the equivalent of what 17-ish Ethereum was in the bull market. And we saw tons of collections go past that. Azuki, Kongs, Bored Apes. I don't know if Clone X hit there, but yeah, I just don't think that we've seen anywhere close to the all-time highs on Ordinals.
Yeah, English added a little more color too. I'm used to hearing English say, and he's very right about this, but I think he'd always say like 0.6 to 0.8 Bitcoin floor on them, but that's with Bitcoin being at like 250K. It's like with very, very expensive Bitcoin. But no, he agrees. He just says we're not going to see that price without Mad Lads, Pudgies, like the other top tier NFTs, also like all-time highs, or at least like really, really expensive again, which they are already. But I absolutely agree there, and like. I still agree with Luca Netz, who thinks we're going to see ETH NFTs back at 100, 200 ETH, and he thinks it'll be Pudgies. And again, I agree too. I just think that mania is going to happen again. And in theory, that only happens with more users in, and with more users in so few of the, kind of grail collections to choose from, that's what pushes all those prices up so high. It's just this thing that'll keep feeding into itself. And then ultimately, I think we'll get to that part of the cycle where celebs are back to putting PFPs as their profile pictures, right? They brag about it. They'll out in public, they'll rock, Web3 IP, but there's no bigger flex than Bitcoin. There's just not. Like, there'll be like a Solana thing that's cool. You know what I mean? It's like the now kind of hot thing, but there's no bigger flex than Bitcoin. So those top tier Bitcoin collections, that's the flex. That's the thing I think people are going to really flock to. And the thing with people with a lot of money are going to flock to. So we'll see. I can't wait, man. I still don't know that that's this year, but 2025, which was cool seeing like OSF's predictions on where we're at in the cycle. I don't know if you saw he had a thread earlier in this week, especially after Monday, which was brutal. I'm sure on Monday you were looking at this stuff pretty closely, right?
Yeah, I was, but look how quickly we shifted from like Monday to where we were on Tuesday, Wednesday. Dude,
like overnight, a turnaround. Like that was wild.
It reminded me of like when we would be on the show and we'd be looking at the Bitcoin chart and Joe would butter. Sorry, is my reception?
You're hitting that spot, but it's all good. This man doesn't stop, by the way, guys. Henry's like, he's on his trip and he's working during his trip and he's back home now and he's still working on his way to his day job, man. The guy's a maniac. But yeah, that turnaround was wild. I don't know that we'll get too into that. You're good now, I think. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, no, it's just gonna say it reminded me of. Yep.
Yeah, I think you're good.
Good, Henry. Bad, not good. Okay, I think I'm in a good spot. I was just saying it reminds me of like the day to day, like obviously way more blood, right? What were we down 20%? It just reminded me of those like, temporary blips.
Yeah. Wow, we were down that much, weren't we?
Yeah,
we hit 49.
It's weird. I wasn't even.
I lost you for a sec there. I think we're fine. I do want to pull up OSF's. I'm going to pull up that thread because I want to break it down. Because again, I agree with everything he said about where we're at in the cycle. And initially, it seemed super bearish, right? He was saying basically a TLDR of his thread was we're in the late innings of the cycle, right? And he said he thinks we have 90 days, and the election is probably the top. Or it's a sell the news event. The top is going to be right before the election. And man, I think a lot of people got spooked hearing that from him, right? People just, he's a thought leader. He's one of the real thought leaders, But I think it spooked people, and it had me, kind of taken aback and thinking through it. He clarified it, though, and said, no, that's just for right now, though. He really thinks that we run next year. And that's what I think everybody here agrees on. Real cycle next year. And I think it's even Kobe. Somebody reminded him of Kobe's thought that we haven't actually started the bull run, that this is 2020. So I agree with that. I think that's exactly where we're at.
It's a good analogy.
It feels
Honestly,
like it.
Feels very much like it, actually. Like it feels very much like it. Yeah, I did see OSF's thread or whatever his long kind of content was, and I think it was thoughtful. Made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I think I've got it. I'm very let's see.
Also, like, don't you feel like we went through this little pump there where everybody was like super bullish on Trump? Everybody thought Trump was coming in. Then people feel like a little bit deflated right now, like uncertainty in the political environment. And that just caters, permeates through the markets and then into crypto and then into like everything else.
Wait, you said we're where in that?
I'm gonna get off Wi-Fi.
Okay, it's fine. I mean, I can work around it, but OSF's tweet is up, and again, we talked about this earlier in the week, but specifically here, the part that stood out was where was the late innings comment? God, where is it? It's a long ass tweet. Oh, here we go. One thing I would say, it's starting to feel rather late innings to me. Again, that's a weird way to describe it to me. I think again, this was just like kind of free flowing thoughts. This wasn't some, this wasn't TA exactly, but I wouldn't call it late innings there. If he were, if he had a do over, I wonder if he'd change that. Because yeah, to me, this feels like third inning, fourth inning, something like that. Still pretty damn early in the game with the most exciting part of the game to go. God, this gets me thinking about sports real quick. And then I'm thinking about the Olympics and thinking about that break dancer. Oh my God, I want to show that so bad. I hope you guys have seen that, by the way. You guys seen the break dance? I can't show it because every time I show Olympics footage, the video doesn't get like demonetized. They block it. Like you can do an hour or 2 hour show. You show 5 seconds of an Olympics clip, they take your video down, which sucks.
Dude, all for like the Olympics, like I think pickleball should be in the Olympics. I think that'd be a fun sport to watch.
Yeah.
But there's just some shit that just does not belong in the Olympics, and the line is somewhere way before breakdancing.
Huh.
Like breakdancing is cool, like it's cool. And you certainly probably need to be very athletic to be able to pull those moves off. That Australian lady aside, it's just a weird fucking thing to have in and to be honest with you, I think surfing belongs in X Games. I don't know that surfing belongs in the Olympics in my mind.
I like them there. I like both of them there. They even have esports in the Olympics. If not now, it's the next one coming up. And again, I like it. I think they all belong. I like them getting a little more current. It's you got to be an athlete to breakdance. That's for fucking sure. After seeing that lady's performance, man. And yeah, I like it. It keeps things fresh, and they are super competitive. I wonder if it matters how big the audience is for it, and clearly they're fucking large to have them there. English is with you. English agrees. Those don't belong.
I would rather see power slap than breakdancing.
If power slap gets a big enough audience, I think it should. Do they have MMA? Do they have like they have jiu-jitsu, don't they?
They have judo. They've got wrestling, they have boxing, but they don't have mixed martial arts. Okay.
Yeah, I want power slap there. When it's got a big enough audience, I think power slap should be there. I saw a funny new one because there's so many fucking weirdo sportsers like car jiu-jitsu, like you've seen that one, I think. They have
yeah.
I don't know if this one was real or not, but there was an ass slap one. Which was it was incredible.
Like the Olympics to me is not that it can't like keep up with the times, because it should. I just look at it like it's really for sports, like what most people would consider sports. And I just don't know that dancing, like, okay, if you have break dancing, then why don't you have ballroom dancing? I guess there's less, or swing dancing. That's a pretty athletic swing dancing would be. It's just a weird sport to see. And I think that Australian lady is a perfect example of why it's just fucking weird to have it.
Here, I think. Okay, hang on. I thought I found the ass slap one. I think they call it booty slap. Okay, found it. This belongs. Especially, dude, all the footage we've seen out of this Olympics, like it's a little. It feels a little edgier this year, for a few reasons, but Yeah, if they want to keep pushing this direction, then we need stuff like this.
Like the female boxing.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you can peek at your screen. I think you're driving, but
Fuck it, I'm looking.
I mean, to be fair, this looks like not at a club, but this is a pretty watered down version. But I saw one that looked a little more like formal. I'm for it, man. In the Olympics, booty slap.
No booty slapping in the Olympics.
Booty slap, breakdancing, surfing. I like curling. I really like curling. Why is curling in the Olympics if breakdancing can't be?
I think curling, which by the way, curling is getting super popular. They have curling at like the ice arena my girls skate at. When I was in Nashville, I saw in Nashville they've got like a curling place. I think curling is just like old school, so I think it's stuck around. It's like sort of like the a lot of the other Nordic sports. Yeah, it reminds me of like the what's the one where they go around on their cross country skis and they shoot?
Oh yeah. I can't remember what it's called, but that's cool too, man. I like that. I like all the memes we got from the shooting competitions. I like competitive tag. You ever seen that?
Yes. Yeah, that's but okay, if breakdancing's in, then tag should be in.
Yes. Yo, agree. And so then that's why I think it comes to like, what's the audience like? But I think this is fucking cool. In fact, I would like to see that starting to like pick up at gyms or like the YMCA and stuff. Like have these tag obstacle courses. It's I don't know.
Then
dude.
If we're gonna bring, if tag comes on, have you seen the slide that they usually have on like ESPN Ocho? Like the slippery slide. Oh, they're like, it's like covered in soap and everybody's wearing like neoprene suits and they have to like climb up. They got to climb up this like inflatable slide and there's all kinds of wacky shit that could be in.
Agreed. Lemon, ESPN, I like where you're going here. I think so. Lemon said competitive NFT minting. Agreed. It should be competitive shit coining, and it should either be part of like an esports tournament. How cool would that be? No joke. I like thinking through this like kind of on the spot. You know, it's like the tournament starts and people got a shit coin to, you know, who can have the biggest bag at, you know, after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you know, something like that.
It'd be so manipulated.
It is, but if you had a way to control it. By the way, I'm getting more and more into shit coining, and I love it. I love it. I finally set up a bot in Telegram, and I made my first trade with it. I've traded twice. I traded the RTR token, right? That fake half real Trump token. I traded that as soon as it dumped, right? As soon as it crashed. I didn't buy much, 1 SOL worth, and bought it right then. 67% return within 10 minutes. There is, nice. And it's so fucking easy with the bot. It's paste the contract address in, hit enter. It pops up like a little picture with a couple buttons you can click, like buy 1 SOL worth, buy half a SOL, 1 SOL, or there's like an X SOL where you can type in the number. You've already preset your slippage like in the app, and I think it's variable too. Like anyway, you click the button, boom, trade's executed, settled. It's a matter of seconds. It's so much faster than using a DEX where you got to go and maybe reconnect your wallet. And I don't know, I just found it way easier. Anybody who's going to start playing in there, I dropped a link to it in the description of this video, a referral link. Don't have to use it, obviously, but it's the bot I'm using and I'm more familiar with already. And I'm telling you, I really like it. Like, if I trade Solana shitters, I'm using that. Like, that's the default now. I really like it. And it got me, dude. It was the energy I like too. Like, okay, felt it first with SCF a couple of weeks ago, like 2-ish weeks ago. That was the first time I really traded a Solana shitter, and everybody who's been in there already and has been saying this is where the NFT run is happening, right? If you were looking for the 21, 22 NFT vibes, it's there. They're right. They're right, and I'm so full of regret that I wasn't trading it in the like peak of pumped out fun. It was there. It felt like 21, like the euphoria, the energy. I got wrecked on my second trade, so like that feeling of why the fuck did I do that? That goes against everything I should be doing, right? But it's there. It's in the Solana meme coin ecosystem right now. I really, man, I encourage you guys, get in there. Get in there now and be prepared. Like, picture if that Trump token did drop on Solana and it dropped last week. You would have missed it. You would have bought in way after everybody else and missed out on probably an easy 10x. Yeah, get in now. Get in now. Get the bot set up. Play around. Throw like 0.01 soul at something just so you get how the bot works. It's not something you're going to have to spend much time with and understand. It's after your first trade, you're going to be like, that's it? It's that easy? Like, why the fuck wasn't I already doing that? So highly, highly encourage you guys get in there. Henry, you too, by the way. I'll send you a link. But, dude, you should. You really, really should. Are you on Telegram? I would assume so, right? Yeah, I'll take that as a yes. Luna, I'm using the Trojan bot. I know other people like the Bonk bot. There's a few people.
Yeah. Yes, I.
Oh, cool. Man, we got a hell of a delay. But yeah, let's pull up SCF because SCF is maybe in trouble. This is where I'm maybe going to have a problem with not being in those major Solana meme coins. Like I wasn't in WIF early. A lot of people talk about like SCF. I'll use that as my example. And they say how it feels like those early ones. I don't know what those early ones felt like, and it's scary as hell right now buying into a token that maybe feels like it had the energy sucked out of it. And often when a coin has its energy sucked out, picture something like Mother, and often they don't come back and find new all-time highs. I want to say SCF feels different. I can tell you the community feels awesome, but I don't know what WIF felt like early. And Henry, were you in those? Were you in WIF and Bohm and those earlier season meme coins?
No, I wasn't in WIF. I was in like Turbo, and had some Pepe, but not like super early in the cycle. But a lot of those I just got in and out. And granted, I realized those were not Solana shitcoins. I just mean shitcoins in general.
Yeah.
So no, missed WIF.
Man, I want to start. Well, I want to start pulling up a chart and doing a little light Huda version of TA, but SCF is at a really interesting place. I mean, it's basically at it's at a pretty low support level. It's basically there. It is a make or break time. It doesn't. Okay, English saying it doesn't feel like WIF. So that's good to know. Honestly, it's really good to know. That said, I still think I'm going to get some SCF. I was in and out already, right? But it's a good question. I know people in it are pretty damn happy with it, and I think see an opportunity right now. Like, all meme coins are down. It's just nature of this time of year. Like, people are so disengaged. They're like, you can feel it. I'm sure in the Kong's Discord, it's probably slower than usual.
Well, we just consolidated all the channels. I don't know if you saw that, but we just consolidated basically everything into Gen Hall and Wall Street Kongs.
Oh, good shit. I like that way better.
Yeah. There was some people that weren't happy that they're that the channels that they like aren't open anymore. But like it's slow, and when it's slow, like you don't need to have 14 channels for people to be splintered off into. Because, dude, it's August. People are on vacation, right?
Yeah. It's people enjoying like end of summer, right? Kids are all going back to school in a couple of weeks here, and I know, back when I used to work in corporate, summer felt like that too. Just people super disengaged, and people step back on that gas pedal September, October, and then it dies end of the year. But dude, yeah, I'm expecting things to cook again. And I said before too, I think doing content, doing videos gives more insight into that too. It's like same content and same community, but you feel people disengage, right? You can see it in numbers. It's just the like casual crypto and NFT people, they're gone. They're just gone right now. So I use views as an indicator. I'm like, oh my God, we're dead or we're back, on top of seeing volume, on top of seeing prices. But all those things together, you're like, you don't got to stress right now. But right now is also a pretty awesome, in my opinion, buying opportunity in a lot of this stuff. Like, price goes one direction here when people come back. Especially for those top dog things, right? In meme coins, in NFTs. With, by the way, $1.7 billion market cap. What was its peak? $3 billion? I don't even know. I don't know. I have never owned any of that token. Yeah, it's like four times down from its peak. Somewhere in that ballpark. So, yeah, all these things got room to cook again. The only tricky thing with the Solana meme coins is just how watered down it's getting, man. It's so watered down. There's too many really good meme coins, I think. Even if that only means there's 3 good meme coins, it's way more than when we had just, Doge and Sheeb. Pepe,
Yeah.
Whiff, Bonk, Floki. I mean, these are the top meme coins. I guess, man, maybe you could argue there's only 2 or 3 really, really big ones now added to the mix. Pepe, Whiff, Bonk. And I guess I'd have to throw Floki in here too, but those are the only ones that are above $1 billion market cap now. So maybe there's room for another one up there. And by the way, I think Nero's going to be up there. Oh, do you guys agree with Nero? Nero feels different. I think Nero's different, man. I think Nero's going to be $1 billion plus. And honestly, I think maybe even a couple billion, especially peak that peak of this run that's coming. Nero feels different for sure. Which, by the way, you're pretty aware of Nero?
Heard of it? No, I tell me about it.
It's it's got a cool enough story that really sets it apart from the rest. Nero's the name of a dog. It's like the kind of the brother of Kabasu, yes. the Doge dog.
Yeah.
So
Doge. Yep.
So that's the new
I didn't
dog.
realize that one separated. Like I remember when Nero came out, there was what's Nero at right now? Because there was a bunch of Neros.
There was a bunch on Solana, and then there's of course a bunch on ETH too. But it was a battle. It's who's gonna be the core, like the main Nero token. The ETH one's winning. The Nero ETH one's got a $263 million market cap. I don't know what the highest one on Solana is. I want to guess 50, 60 million range. It could be up to 100. I've not been watching to see how it's fluctuated, but like ETH one separated itself. It's the clear winner. Early enough though that could change, but it's got some big name people in it and super manipulated too. Like Bubble Maps put out, their chart showing like insiders really controlling that coin, but they did with Pepe too. Like it doesn't matter. And actually it's maybe more bullish if you got experienced shitcoin people, right? Like people who've been involved in these tokens. If you got those guys who are experienced launching tokens, it could be really bullish for it. And it looks like Nero on ETH it is bullish for. Here, I'm going to pull up...
hey, random question.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Jordy?
It's a good question. She's around. I see her from time to time, replying to stuff. I just think like everybody else disengaged, and I think she was starting a business too, so just super busy. I should get her on here sometime, right? Jordy's awesome. Jordy, if you're listening, man, miss you. Yeah, she's cool, man. There's so many people that are just, unplugged. They're just unplugged. It's like... it's that time of the cycle where you can unplug, but it's also where I argue don't because you miss opportunities, like some really, really great ones. Jinin or Jinin. Somebody please tell me how to pronounce that. That would help. Oh, okay. Luna, you're looking at that too. I bought some of that yesterday. I finally bought some. I absolutely think that one's different too. So that one's in the Doge and Nero family too. That's the cat. That's the cat in that household. So, yeah, that's another one I think is going to cook. What is it? $50 million market cap right now when I bought right around here. Using the bot. Again, I love the bot. It's actually dangerous how easy it is. But Jinin, that's another one I see a lot of the right people. By right people, it's insiders, right? But it's insiders that I see their calls and they... dude, every time I've noticed something they talk about right in a different kind of way, they always nail it. They always... I'm mostly talking about Kook. I don't know. Think what you want about Kook, but I think he makes great calls. And yes, he already has bags. Yes, he is dumping on your head. Absolutely. But his calls have been spot fucking on. That Gigacoin. Has he tweeted about SCF? I can't remember, but he's also big behind Nero. That guy makes great calls.
We didn't get a chance to talk earlier this week, but there was a tweet out there that somebody had posted that they had got subpoenaed by the SEC because they had taken a picture with Ansem. Did you see that?
No. Huh.
Yeah, they were like, they posted it. And one thing with shitcoins, and we've talked about this, we know the SEC was going to be going after influencers. This person doesn't even know Ansem. They just took a picture and posted, and they
wow.
I think there's going to be a day of reckoning within shitcoins because they rely on the influencers, and I think there's going to be a lot of influencers that are going to have some action coming down on them.
Dude, I actually was losing hope. Which, I don't want to see people get wrecked and hurt. I don't. But I actually thought maybe there was too much of it going on that the SEC can't do anything about him. Because I'm like, why is Scottie Pippen getting away with what he's doing? And I think because of RWAs. But I'm like, why are all these guys who are just doing the whole shitcoin shtick? Why haven't we seen any of them get in trouble? Any of them, other than like really blatant scams. But
BitClout. I don't know if you saw the action against them this week. I know usually like I come in with the legal nonsense that I'm always looking up. The founder of BitClout, he got charged with fraud by not just the SEC but the DOJ. That was like a social fi platform.
Wow.
Massive, like, dude, that guy's fucked.
Today we charged Nader al-Naji with perpetrating a multi-million dollar fraudulent crypto asset scheme involving a social media platform called BitClout and its native token of the same name. Huh.
Yeah. And he's got DOJ action against them and SEC action. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit. All right, let me.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember BitClout.
Interesting shit.
Yeah, was this a platform any of us used? Like, was this the one that was like that? I'm thinking of this platform with like a social kind of credit score, kind of. You know, it's like you rate influencers, and maybe it's the wrong platform.
Yeah. Yes.
Is that the one?
No, that's it.
Oh, no shit. Huh. Okay. The first crypto social network, BitClout, was first created to experiment with the DeSo blockchain. Let's see. Diamond app. Yeah, I wonder.
I mean, this guy was just stupid. He was talking to investors about how he was subverting the regulations by saying it was decentralized enough, and the reality was it wasn't. There was all kinds of things that there wasn't a real business. You know what it reminds me of, dude? Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Yeah, it's perfect.
It's funny, dude. You've always had a knack for like understanding the lay of the land. In fact, it's almost like you're just more force sensitive than many of us. Back in 2021, when Yuga Labs got, actually it was before Yuga Labs. It was summer of 21, and you were talking about regulation, how it was needed because like regulation was going to fuck things. Like that this type of thing would be happening. Which, by the way, this is long before any SEC action against people. And you kept saying it's the Wild West, and that these morons think that just because you're on the internet that and you're using a pseudonym that you're okay, and that the reality is like people are going to get caught and people are going to fuck up, and this is a perfect example of all of that. Like, people just think you can say whatever you want because you're on the internet. Yeah, it's not that simple.
No, and we haven't
this
seen...
guy, was using.
No, go ahead.
No, this guy just probably did every single thing you shouldn't do. And there is a laundry list of people who have done the exact same thing where they're like, yeah, it's on the internet and I use the VPN, but like, doesn't matter. You only have to fuck up one time. You only have to fuck up like literally one time for them to be able to, track you back. Very hard to be a Cocoa Bear where you are just like that. That is a difficult persona to have online, where you are so careful and so strict to never even come close to doxing anything about yourself. So I think a lot of people for years have just operated in this lawless type of environment where they're like, I can do whatever, I can say whatever, I can get my friends to pump this, I can get these influencers to do this, that, or the other. And we have not seen the day of reckoning yet. We haven't. We've talked about it, but it's going to happen. Regardless of if Trump or Kamala is when I say lenient towards crypto, because like we want them to be lenient towards crypto, and we want them to be lenient towards these decentralized, communities and decentralized protocols. But what we're talking about is fraud that happens, and that's the shit that we really don't need in the space. So that kind of day reckoning is still coming. That's
scary as shit too, because I wonder if it's a coordinated thing, like a lot of things that happen out there. Maybe over the past couple months, all the dumping of Bitcoin felt kind of maybe coordinated, but also I think when that shoe drops and they start actually going after bad actors, but also they're going to go after people who are not bad actors. They're going to go after things in force just to make a statement. It's scary to think what that can do to the space when we think of, what a Black Swan event that's still coming, and there still's going to be. There will always be Black Swan events. But that's going to be scary if we see NFT projects, crypto projects, influencers all go down at the same time, and then everyone's going to be like, I'm not touching anything here. Like, I'll touch nothing. It doesn't matter how much you believe in this space. You touch nothing when you see how wide-reaching that is.
Well, and I think like with this guy like Nadir, I think one of the key differences is that you've got the Department of Justice involved, just like you would with like Tornado Cash. And I know you can make a really good argument that Tornado Cash is decentralized, and the problem with Tornado Cash was I think they were flaunting that they were used as for money laundering. So yeah, I think these influencers, dude, I don't even think we've touched the surface of what could be happening behind the scenes. When I saw that from a nobody that had been subpoenaed, I was like, oh yeah, this shit's coming.
Oh, that's scary.
And there's probably a lot of people that are that know, dude, you know what's great about it is if you haven't done that shit, you don't need to worry about it. Do you know what I mean? If what you were doing was okay, I'm talking on the fraud side of things, so you got nothing to worry about. But I think there's a whole lot of people that have done things where they're launching a token, they're getting their buddies to pump it. There's all kinds of seedy shit happening behind the scenes, and they think because it's happening on the internet, nobody can touch them. There's no jurisdiction, and it's the furthest thing from the truth.
Yeah. Speaking of, just a quick comment. I was thinking back to, we chatted about this early on in our time here too, and I had mentioned every single person here in the space now, if you take it seriously, will have the opportunity to be some kind of advisor or analyst, right? And clearly it worked out that way. People, I think, again, if you put the time and effort in, and if you're like a decent person, even if not, I guess, in this space, but you've probably had the opportunities to advise NFT projects, right? That's going to be coming in a big, big way. I had to remind myself of this yesterday. That's going to happen in a big, big way, not here in Web3 directly. It's going to happen outside, like IRL. It's going to happen where everybody here, as knowledgeable as all you guys are, you're going to have this opportunity to advise and probably get corporate gigs out in the real world as people really start adopting crypto. We're seeing the very beginning of it with all this adoption happening at the state level. Investors right now. But once businesses start getting in and start saying, okay, we get the crypto, that clicks, I get it. This stuff's not going away. We'll bet on it because, we kind of get it. They will start thinking of how they can implement it in their businesses. And they're going to need people who really understand this stuff to help navigate it, but also understand the tech. And so I was thinking of it yesterday. You still have that opportunity, and it's such a massive opportunity to make a lot of money in a more traditional sense, right? Advising. Again, it could be a mom and pop shop. It could be your local, chain branch, a bank chain, whatever it is. I think everybody's going to have those kind of opportunities. You should at least consider it, guys, how you can position yourself for those kind of gigs.
And the other thing along with that, because you're exactly right, is that if you are, if you're somebody who's like a you or me or English, and I what I mean is people who are more front facing, the opportunities that come, this kind of shit, like this subpoena here, I can't tell you. And when I say it I'm a nobody, CyberKongs is a top 100 all-time project. We've got a lot of followers. Personally speaking, I'm a D tier, C tier person, right? I have enough followers where I get decent engagement, decent, not amazing, but decent. In the bull, I get opportunities thrown all the time my way on we'll pay you to tweet this. We'll give you X amount of tokens if you promote this. Do you know, I have never, dude, not one time have I ever taken one of those offers. Never. Because I never wanted to end up with this type of thing here, where you get involved in something like this, where there was some super seedy shit going on. And it just doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good at all. So that's
would
just
you
something
take it
just
if it were from a corporate, like a business, like Chase Bank reached out?
Oh, Advising, I think, is completely different. Yeah, I think on the advising side, I think like even on an NFT project, like I've advised on some things. French Montana's team had me advise on some nonsensical bullshit they were trying to do for. I think they paid me for 1 month. This was long after French Montana had been a Kong. His team. It was really like his team from Binance that had built the metaverse was looking to launch some stuff. One thing they wanted to launch was the grape token. The grape protocol, dude. The fucking document is so funny. But never did it. So I think advising on projects is very different than being paid to shill people's shit.
Yep.
That's the difference.
Agreed. Yep. And again, I think those opportunities will feel even better when they're out in the real world. And I really believe it's coming. I really believe it's coming. Picture even, and we can move from this, but Trump dropping a token. I imagine the token Trump is dropping here, and I kind of am thinking it's Monday. Maybe it's right around his interview with Elon Musk. But I imagine you're going to be able to use that token on his store, right, where he sells cologne and he sells those gold shoes, and that's like, I have a feeling you'll be able to use that token in his ecosystem. Again, when people understand that, that's when I start picturing it, and we're years off from this, by the way, but I picture your local grocery store ends up having a token, right? And it helps them, they integrate it with their coupons and rewards, all that stuff. Again, all these places are going to need advisors for that. And again, I do think mom and pop shops will end up, again, years down the road, but will end up adopting all of this. And you guys, I mean it, everybody here is going to have that opportunity to take it serious, keep at this stuff, keep learning, keep understanding, but also think of how to polish yourself so you are that person that comes across as professional too, because that's what they're going to want.
Do you remember Will from the Littles? He was the founder. So like Will, I think, is a great example. Now people shit on the Littles all the time because like it didn't pump their bags enough, but Will actually like did a lot of cool shit as far as like giving back to the community, giving to charity, and trying to push that IP. And he found himself in a lane where he was able to use that experience, and that's what he does. He advises like I'm talking like Fortune 500 companies on NFTs, or not just NFTs, on Web3, and how they can integrate, whether it's reward systems. It's really, really interesting. Super smart guy. I think those opportunities are going to be everywhere.
Yeah,
by the way,
everywhere.
Not to completely shift topics, but I'd been wanting to ask you, did you see the fucking plane crash in Brazil yesterday?
Yeah, English was just bringing that up. I'll put it up here. Yeah, if you don't like this shit, which I totally get, I'm going to put it up on the screen. Pretty fucking, ugh.
Terrifying, I think, is the word.
Dude, just drops. The thing just fucking drops.
So we used to do as training. So like all pilots go through stalls. They're called stalls and falls. So like you actually will go out in the military. I assume they do this in simulators on the civilian side. You actually go out and you put the plane into a stall, a controlled stall, just number one, so you can experience as a pilot what it feels like and know what you need to do to get out of it. And you're only going to drop like 150 feet in altitude. It's a very controlled drop. You're not free falling out of the sky like this, but those feelings are like slightly fucking terrifying, dude. To free fall for 2 or 3 minutes. I don't know that anybody can imagine something much worse other than like, oh, I'm chained up and they're pulling my fingernails off one by one with pliers and cutting my testicles off with scissors. Dude, this would just be. Did you see the guy that was supposed to be on the plane?
Yes, fucking wild.
Holy
It was late. They wouldn't
dude.
let him on because he was just late enough where they're like, "No, too late, buddy," and everybody died. Everybody.
Absolutely fucking terrifying, dude.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah, and you spent a lot of time while you were on the Coast Guard on planes like this, so that's right. Dude.
Yeah. Prop plane. Just would be. I don't even think there's words. It would just be fucking terrifying, dude.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, it's even hard to look at. I spent a lot of time yesterday looking at the flight MH370 video. I'm going to send you a video. It's something to watch. It's a long video. It's an hour long. But I'll send it to you. It's going down this whole list of reasons why it is what it is and why this guy believes whatever happened. It's super interesting. Some things like I learned some stuff from it. Like they have $150,000 bounty for anybody who can prove it's fake. stuff like that starts adding up over his whole checklist. You know, those things start adding up. He talks about even like the frame rate of the video that prove it's taken from like a Citrix session, and like the Citrix session, it's like a networking, it's like a networked environment, like I don't want to call it like a cloud computing system, but like it's like virtual machines. And so kind of talking about how the frame rate of the Citrix session would have been this, and then the frame rate of the video is this, basically meaning this is definitely somebody recording from a screen, and very specifically a Citrix session. Talked about the lighting in the video, that you literally couldn't light something like that fake. The way that when that explosion happens, how it lights up the clouds around it, like the way it absolutely should. The way the clouds and the weather match that exact time, that exact location where the plane supposedly went down, it matches it. Like every single little thing matches up. And then it gets into the why, and the why is all interesting too, and I don't have all the whys down yet, but some of it was like theories that they did it just because. They did it because we have this tech, and it's...
Wait. Hang on. You've got to explain to people who are listening what you mean by they did it. Like, set it up a little bit, what this person's saying.
Marco. Okay, so I'll play the video. Yeah, you guys have seen me play this video a bit here on the channel, and it's half for fun. Like, it's half just because it's so wild. And the other half is I like weird shit, and I like conspiracy theories, and I'll entertain them until the point where I'm like, it's a waste of time because it's fake. I can't get to that point with this one yet, where it's fake, and it keeps me engaged because it's cool if it's true. What it is this Malaysian flight MH370 from like a decade ago. It's this guy saying that plane didn't actually crash. And yes, the plane, was on fire. It was going down, but that we actually have tech that can open wormholes and teleport shit, which sounds bonkers. Like, it sounds absolutely fucking crazy. But this video footage is supposedly from the military. It's supposedly satellite footage of the plane. It's two different shots, too. Two different kind of systems. And then it gets into the why. There's a whole bunch of, like, why would that even happen? And that's where that's honestly going to take people looking in themselves. It's not even that interesting to even look into it, honestly. I just think it's kind of cool. I will say this. These little orbs that surround the plane look a lot like those Tic Tac UFOs that we see in the news all the time. If it's real, it just speaks to us having some really fucking wild, game-changing tech. And it just makes everything else feel fake. It sounds silly to say watching a video like this, but if this kind of thing were real, it makes just a lot of what happens in the world seem obsolete. But yeah, here's satellite footage of that plane. Go ahead, Henry.
Yeah, part of the problem with this, and like I like read the thread from this guy, and it's it's fascinating because I don't know enough about it to be able to like combat any of it. But I think to myself, like, part of the problem why this will never matter to normies is because it's so complex to dive into it that no normal person can refute it. So most people just take it at surface value and they're just like, that's absurd, right?
It's insane.
And,
stupid.
And if you look back to 3 or 4 years ago when the Pentagon declassified documents saying that they were in possession of materials not made on Earth, they declassified the UFO videos, and you take that to normies, which I've done many times, right? Because it was like liberating for me when the Tic Tac videos came out from the Nimitz. You talk to people about it, and you would think they'd be like, holy fuck, for real? Like, let me Google that right now. Most people are just like, oh, like they almost still don't believe you. You still sound like a fucking lunatic to them when you're like, the Pentagon declassified information saying that they're in possession of materials not made on Earth. And they're not talking about rocks. They're talking about like, metal alloys and things like that. So the thing is, like, normal people, they don't fucking care. They just think that, no, this just sounds like absurdity.
And I'll tell you this, too. This guy's the wrong person to be explaining it to an audience, right? Like, as absurd as it sounds, and the amount of time you then have to spend to dig in and understand what he's even saying, and then the whys, is too much. So, yeah. If it's real, there's got to be more than just him, people who can break it down, like, in a super simple way. Like, literally, this is what it's showing, this is why that matters, and why that would be so crazy if true, and, and again, somebody else who can present better. But it is fucking interesting. Part of the kind of whys, it was, again, either it was crashing and it was a very, very good opportunity to test this tech, but there was also, there's some interesting stuff there that there were, I think it's 20 or 21 microprocessor scientists all on board here who were potentially defecting to China, something like that. Then there was some interesting points. Again, I don't know what of this is true, and maybe none of it matters, but saying that you never have that many of your like scientists, just like you would never have that many of your executives all on the same flight, right? It would never happen because
they were semiconductor guys, right?
Semiconductors, that was it.
Yeah.
Yep. Semiconductors. It's just there's certain things that end up becoming kind of fishy. Again, it's all some of this is a leap of faith or just trusting that the guy presenting it has done the work and verified it. But the plane is on fire. It clearly looks like it's on fire if that's real. His theory here, and it is half a theory, and part of this is from research uncovering things. There were lithium-ion batteries on that plane that were not part of the on a flight. You have to kind of declare anything that's on board, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They were not declared. But also there was evidence that showed somehow, some way, again, this is why it's so tricky, like somebody else has to present it, like just the super important parts, but supposedly there were lithium ion, like a lot of them on board, and they're super volatile, and I've been seeing all kinds of fucked up videos about that.
How do they know that they were on board?
There was a record of them somewhere. It wasn't on the official log, but there was another piece of evidence. It could have even been, like I'm assuming it was factual, but there was some other documentation that showed it was on board. And then if that's true and you end up believing it was true, then a fire in that part of the plane starts making sense. And then you start thinking about those semiconductor scientists being on board, and you start thinking of why there's any kind of motive to do what they did. If this truly opens up like a wormhole, like truly teleports this thing somewhere, it's just it's a whole bunch of things you have to, like a leap of faith kind of. But there's some data or there's some facts that back up almost all of it. So it's just super fucking interesting. And I guess, again, the part I learned yesterday was the bounty. This $150,000 bounty to anybody who can prove it's fake. I like that. That to me is one of the bigger takeaways.
The bounty is if you can prove this is fake.
Yes, the video's fake, yeah. That it's fake footage. And it's just, there were so many points he brought up, and he's had this analyzed by, like digital forensic scientists and stuff who said it's not fake. The video's not manipulated. This is not like computer generated.
This is
and
going
those
to be,
things look like the Tic Tacs. They do.
They do. This will be one of those things in 40 years. So hopefully we're alive, where if the world has not exploded by then, that we're going to find out that this is like some version of what happened. And it's just so fucked that this is the way things work, that you can't just know. The good news is with technology, we're able to know things a little bit better now than they were. Like picture like when they were infecting African Americans with syphilis, right? And that rumor was probably going around. And people are like, that's fucking crazy. And then 40, 50 years later, you find out like, oh no, that did happen. If social media existed then, people would have known about it sooner. So like the good news is we've got intelligent people or people who seem like they're intelligent that can put this shit together, and people like you and people like me, and we can look at it and be like, oh no, this could be, where like, 15 years ago, it was much harder to be able to make that case to people. So yeah. I think we'll find out sooner, maybe sooner than 40, 50 years.
Yeah. I hope George makes a good point too. Like if it's fake, it came out 2 months after the plane actually disappeared. And that's where it gets interesting. Within 2 months, creating a fake that's accurate. Again, the position of the plane, like the direction it's heading, the coloring of the plane, even though that was like an infrared picture, I guess you can tell where it's dark and light, which does match what the plane actually looked like. But again, the lighting effects, the weather, all of it was accurate as in that area where it went down. It seems like it would be a hard thing to fake, and it's just wild to think if that tech exists. I'll mention this. He's pulled some of his info offline. I find the guy pretty believable, but he said he's taken some of his videos off because he said this stuff in the wrong hands or putting this kind of information out there helps other countries maybe advance their tech. It does if they're researching this stuff. And he's like he's a patriot at the same time too. And he's like some of this stuff just like can't be out there. So in a way, he's like censoring himself in the same way he thinks that the video this whole thing shouldn't be censored, but clearly there's a lot going on here. So dude, it's so interesting.
It is interesting. Yeah. I if Trump makes it back in office, I want him to like declassify more alien shit. I would love for that to happen. Like just start
I don't think he's gonna win, do you?
So I was at yes when he was up against Biden, and then I was like, ooh, the media is really going behind Kamala. Not to mention, like, the base itself is really pushing behind Kamala. I think it's still a coin toss. I think there's a really big David Axelrod. Obviously, I know you're familiar with him. Barack Obama's campaign manager, also like really smart. He's just a really smart guy, like really good insight. You know, he has said recently, like, guys, there's still some issues here with Kamala, and off the top of my head, I can't remember exactly what they were, but I think at some point this this push that she's had, I think it dies down a little bit because it's still new. And people are fawning over it right now because they're just so happy it's not Biden. I'm not sure. I don't think it's a lock for her by any means, and I don't think it's a lock for him. I think it's probably a lot closer than. Okay, let me ask you this: Did she win over the 1 to 3% of people that were undecided? Is she going to be the difference between the independents? Somebody you could argue. You think so?
And not because of anything of substance. It just I'm telling you, man. And you know, we talk privately too, and what I say here, I tell you, I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not saying this as a Trump guy, but I like that because it lets me sit back and really feel what's happening. So, like my wife, for example, I think she's voting for Harris, where I don't know that she was going to vote for Biden because of what became obvious to everybody. I think that's the kind of person she went over, like the more traditional, you know, lifelong Democrats who
suburban moms.
Yes. And the part I'm so disappointed about is just this happened in such a fucked up way. I think the way she's gotten that nomination is so highly fucked, and it's made me lose hope that all of a sudden this happens with. It shows me they can do whatever they want, which we also learned in COVID. But they can do whatever they want. It doesn't matter what we think or believe or want. It doesn't matter, and that's more of a comment on people too. How people are just willing to go along with whatever they're told. It's a bummer, dude.
I think we're still a long way off from November. A lot can happen. I think it'll be closer than what the polls tend to indicate or what the news tends to indicate right now. Would it surprise me if she wins? Not at all. Do I think JD Vance was a good VP pick? Not at all. I'm happy to see two veterans that are that are both VP candidates. I like that. Like fair is fair. I think the people that are coming down on Waltz's, is it Walz or Waltz?
I think it's Walz, W-A-L-Z.
Yeah. I think the people who are coming down on his Command Master Sergeant Stolen Valor, I think that is maybe like one of the dumbest things I've seen, and I wish people would just stay away from that kind of nonsense. Like the guy served, he was missing like a requirement to retire at that rank. So to call it like stolen valor when he actually held that rank, I think it just makes people look stupid.
Was there anything to the like? I know people are shitting on him. Like, what is it? Like retiring or leaving right as his. I don't even know what they're called, man. But his guys were getting deployed, right?
Yeah. So from what I read, like digging into it a little deeper, they were deploying in July. I think they got notified in May, whatever the year was. So they were deploying in July. They got notified in May, and he had his, like when you're retiring, you don't retire like, here's my papers, I'm retiring in 2 months. You put that shit in like months and months in advance. So they got notified in May, but apparently his retirement papers were in long before then.
Okay.
It could have even been like before January of that year that his retirement papers were in. So I think that narrative is also stupid. Plus, dude, 24 fucking years this guy served, and you're acting like he just abandoned his people when he was like, dude, people retire at 20 years. This guy gave 24. I just think it's a weird stance to take. Especially a vet versus vet. I think it's a really weird stance for like JD Vance to take. I don't know. I don't like it. But yeah, anything could happen. To be honest with you, I've read some stuff saying that like behind the scenes, Kamala is, or her campaign is talking with like lobbyists within the crypto industry, and that
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are not expecting her. So like, to me,
Well,
I'm
who's
voting
who's
crypto,
not
man.
expecting her?
And so
The
like,
crypt-
wait, say that again.
You said they're not expecting her. You mean like not expecting her to be pro crypto friendly? Because we have some updates on this
Oh,
from yesterday with crypto
uh,
leaders and Harris.
people weren't expecting her to be, but then there was talk that they're actually having conversation with lobbyists about wanting to be more crypto friendly. And so like, if they will take a different stance than the Biden administration has towards crypto, then great. If she's going to be president, I hope that they're fair to crypto.
Yeah, so we got some updates on this yesterday. First off, there's a new agenda here. It's called Crypto for Harris. They're going to be having this live stream. It's going to be on Wednesday coming up here. I actually want to live stream it here, Henry, but 7 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday. There's a Zoom call with people like Mark Cuban. I don't know if Harris is going to be there, but it's probably people from her campaign, and it's going to be this kind of forum to talk about crypto here. So the Crypto for Harris town hall. I'm definitely going to be watching. Again, I definitely want to stream it live. But I guess the Biden administration met with the industry insiders just on Wednesday. It might have been Thursday, and it was interesting. I wonder if they're just super out of touch, because apparently it was mostly a screaming match with the crypto people screaming at the Biden team there. One of the guys, I think on the crypto side, I think it might be the other, but was asking those in the room who has been impacted by, I guess, just the difficulty across the board here with the administration. Like, who has not had access to banks? Every single person raised their hand. And again, apparently there was a lot of shouting there, and they all called for Gensler to be fired. It's interesting. Nice. Again, that wasn't a Harris thing. That was the Biden administration. And, so things are changing. I'm rooting for, I don't give a shit who gets it done. I just want to see it get done. I don't trust any of them. Can't say I trust Trump either, other than he's making money. I think money where your mouth is, I believe him a little more on the crypto front right now. But things are changing.
A couple things. Number one, I didn't realize, and I don't know if this is true, I want to look into it more, that you can't just fire Gensler. That once they're confirmed, that they have to either resign or be impeached. I'd like to find that out, because I don't know. But that was a comment that I saw from someone the other day that was like, Gensler's term ends in 2026. He can't be fired. He has to be impeached. Again, not sure if that's true, but it could be. That's interesting, because I hadn't seen that before. And the other thing is, I think Trump's just fucked up, dude, because I think in the end, he's an idiot, right? He's a dumb, when I say he's dumb, I'm sure in some ways he's smart, but like, he just has not been able, he's just reverted back to his old ways, calling names. He doesn't stick to the facts. He makes shit up. And I think this was sort of his campaign to lose after what happened in Pennsylvania. And I think he went right back to the normal Trump shit talking, instead of just sticking to issues. Talk about the economy. Like, just stick to the issues without bringing all your Trump bullshit in. And I just don't think it helps with Vance being his VP. So won't surprise me if he'll lose, but still a long way till November.
Long way, and that's why the flip side with Harris can happen. Again, she's got so much momentum before anything of substance is even happening here. Nothing. And in the same way, Trump's, the unaliving event from a few weeks ago, a week later doesn't matter. Non-factor now. The same will probably be true of Kamala. It's just, this is when kind of the machine really kicks into gear and puts what they want in front of people, and people are
Wait a second. Is that the word that has to be used to not get banned, is unaliving?
I do it because I think I've heard that. I don't know what's true or not, and I like it. But you ever see on X people like will like censor out part of a word?
Yes.
Certain words are throttled. YouTube, I know for sure YouTube does stuff like that. I just don't know what words. So, I don't know. By the way, big day today. It's VCon out in LA. I know Whirly Girl's going, so I hope you have a fucking blast out there. You guys know Joe is there. Hopefully you recognize him now. If you see him walking around, tell him what's up. Would love to get Joe live, even if it's 5 minutes putting on his phone and just walking around and showing us around the event. That'd be fucking cool.
If you think Joe is going to do anything when he's at VCon, anything other than sit in a corner somewhere, you are sadly mistaken. I saw him at VCon last year. He didn't do shit. He doesn't do anything. So Joe's not going to go out of his way to turn on his phone and be like, let's check in, guys. I'm live at VCon. No, not happening.
Oh, Whirly, are you at VCon too, or are you at PepeFest, not VCon at all? I really thought you were going to be at VCon, and maybe you're doing both. But PepeFest today, and that's gonna be fucking awesome. Man, Beeple's just the coolest motherfucker. Again, that's going on today. Part of the festival starts this morning. I guess here we have it here, 12 to 4. And then there's a nighttime event, like a party, 8 p.m. tonight to midnight. Guests, artist showcases, and on that note, Meta 8, he's here in the chat. He's got art featured there, which is fucking awesome. I'm put it up on the screen. Let me do it again. But there's his work, Pepe Island. That's fucking awesome, man. Do you know where it's going? Like how is he gonna have that art positioned around the place? Okay, Whirly Girl. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. She'll be at PepeFest, not VCon at all. Okay. Oh yeah, please do. Yeah, anything you got, if you tweet him or whatever, I'd love to show him on the show. So cool. But yeah, man, it's great. Again, Beeple's always looking out for the people. He is. He's just so great for the space and for artists here. There's a couple guys I know that have artwork here too. So, man, just cool to see. I think it's gonna be a killer event. I like those little robot dogs he has, by the way. I think that's the coolest shit. Did you see those at all?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, those are cool. Like the Boston Dynamic, is it?
Yeah.
Robots.
Yeah. Dude, he's a maniac. I love it. Dude, it should be cool. I hope we get some footage. They live streamed the Punk Fest. The Damn Show was streaming that. I hope it gets people streaming PepeFest. I've not seen anybody saying they're going to, but fuck, man, I hope they do. So, all right, God, there's plenty to talk about, but
yeah, plenty. Breaking news. Cue the music.
Oh, hang on. I got audio coming somewhere. Okay. Wait.
Breaking news.
Wait. Still audio somewhere. Hang on. I got to kill it. It's killing my ears. Where the fuck is this coming from? Okay.
Breaking news. Today, and only today, Dead Polaroid live from his local McDonald's here to talk OpCat. Dead, over to you.
Dead.
We're
Dead. Over to you, Dead.
fucking over to you, bro.
Hang on. Let's do it again. Hang on, let me set this up.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, hang on. We're gonna run it back here. All right. Okay, I think we're good.
We're good?
Yeah, how do we want to set this up?
Let me think. And that concludes our segment on Pepe. Oh, this just in, breaking news. Live from his local McDonald's, the one and only Dead Polaroid. Dead, over to you. Dead!
Nailed it.
Ah!
All right, good shit. All right, thank you guys. We're Quantum Cats Quest 6. You have to you got to go to McDonald's and talk to people about OpCat. I'm going to clip that out to be part of our video. Thank you for being a live audience for us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, by the way, I was literally when we so like to those that don't know, we're a team. Tickles, Dead, me, Huda. We do the missions together. I was literally 5 minutes from leaving my shop to go to McDonald's when when this new plan got formed, and like it's hard to take away. Like I had somebody that was meeting me at McDonald's to do this. Kind of hard to take away from Dead doing his like full wizard shit. So
yeah. Oh, he's dressing up.
He loves that shit, dude.
Maniac.
He you'd like straight up taking joy from that man's life to not allow him to do that. So
incredible. Dead.
Can't wait.
Dead, thank you for the report. We learned so much about OpCat. We are now
and hopefully the
OpCat
people at
believers.
McDonald's. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dead changed some people's minds. So great job, Dead.
There is
Great
no
job.
second pet. G meow.
An OpCat burger. Do you think an OpCat burger's on the table?
Absolutely. G meow. Thank you, Dead. We'll check back in with Dead later on today. Yes. Yeah, we just lost a quantum catter.
Like,
Luna just sold. The collection's dumping. Good. All right. Again, we could have gotten into the more Donald Trump shit, the tokens. There's a lot. I was happy to go off into conspiracy theory land and Kamala stuff. So I like that. Anything else,
Yeah.
Henry?
Yeah, always fun.
Always freaking
No,
fun. All right.
third chapter of manga. Oh, sorry,
No, go ahead.
out. I was just saying, the third chapter of manga drops tomorrow, which is sort of the end of the manga part of the Kong stuff, and then we start kind of getting into the Amaki side of things. So, you know, it's like it's tough, dude. Like the market sucks right now. People's attention is not there. Not to mention, like people don't love to read. But the cool thing about like the manga is that you know, it can serve a purpose just outside of the community when you're, you know, partnering with other brands to be able to show the IP and how you've been able to, you know, create stories behind it, I think is also important. So, yeah, no, excited to roll the rest of the shit out for Amaki and start working on other shit. But yeah, just working on Kong shit, dude. Konging it.
I love it. Amaki this week?
I gotta check the schedule. I'm pretty sure there's some stuff happening this week. I can't remember exactly. Maybe it's not this week. I gotta look and see. I'll get back to you on that.
Tickle's saying it's manga.
It is manga. It's manga.
Manga. Manga.
It's weird. It's like Adidas, right? Like everyone here calls it Adidas. Everywhere else they call it Adidas. Adidas calls it Adidas. They don't call it Adidas. And everywhere else they call it manga. And in the U.S., people call it manga. So I should just call it the right thing. It is manga.
It is manga. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
I always say it wrong. Good shit. By the way, speaking of Adidas, they've got some merch with the doodles. I'm gonna crack open a couple of these like boxes. I guess they're like $4 or something, and like there's some like limited edition like tracksuits and I think some shoes. 200 editions out of how many? I don't know how many boxes, but I like it. I like seeing their strategy unfold, right? Again, super cheap stuff with some cool stuff sprinkled in. Yeah, I like it. I like it. $8 mint, basically, you know, for a chance at some cool shit. Hang on, is it? Okay, that's the pass. That not in the store video is out now too. I don't remember for the life of me what wallet I bought that pass on. I gotta go find that, but I'm definitely gonna check this out. And then, yeah, where are those boxes? Yeah, I don't know. Their whole ecosystem, new to me, but I can't wait to dive in. I like what they're doing. I like what the Kongs are doing.
I do too.
Even
I like
more.
what Doodles are doing. I don't like that they're doing Adidas when we are. But I was glad we were able to at least announce before because we knew that Doodles was doing something as well. But like, what are you gonna do?
When is your
like,
guys' stuff coming? Do you and do you have more cheeses than I think in that trailer you guys put out?
I think there's more stuff that comes out with it. Yeah.
Okay. Like this week, maybe?
Yeah, in a short amount of time. Yeah. I don't think we're doing any Adidas teases this week. No, I don't think this. I don't think so, dude. I'm working on some other stuff for Kongs. So like, the content schedule for Amaki is just like I used to be able to recite it off the top of my head, and right now I'm just lost because sometimes things change. Like for instance, our marketing schedule got changed because at the very wow, dude, I'm driving by and this lady is full on fucking tweaking. Holy shit! You know when you see those videos of people like just tweaking, they're
like bent over and like
they're like moving in these contorted ways. Yeah. This lady's like full on. How miserable.
Pull over, get her on the show. Let's interview her. No, that's mean. I'm not trying to shit on a person.
Yeah.
Did I lose you, man? No,
what I wonder, because like I've done my fair amount of drugs, and I've gone through my fair amount of withdrawals. Oh fuck! Can you hear
What's
me?
up? Yeah, I got you.
Oh yeah. Is that like tweaking shit, being on drugs, or is that withdrawal symptoms coming off of them?
Ooh, good question. Good question. That's the whole like twitching and shit. You know what I mean? Like where their body's just like moving in weird ways.
Yeah, like where you're like
over?
fucking. It looks like you're a contortionist.
Yeah. Fuck, dude. I don't know. My gut would tell me it's withdrawals. Like again, from having like been there, done that. Like you just get like weird muscle cramps and like weird shit like that jolts you. I don't know. Yeah, tweaking too much speed or withdrawal. Okay. Yeah. That could be like all like methed up or.
Yeah, where they're like a contortionist, like you think they're about to like step through their arms, kind of thing. They're all like,
fuck. It looks like that Australian breakdancer, basically.
Yeah, exactly that. That's coming off, or that's being on, or it can be either.
Yeah, I think it can be the withdrawals, but also if you're like way fucking cracked out, and you could just like, I could picture it. Yeah, wild shit. By the way, trailer for Skeleton Crew came out last night. There was a big old Disney event. They announced like Toy Story 5, I think. I think a new Frozen maybe, but like all kinds of shit. But yeah, Star Wars trailer. All the Marvel shit sounding cool too, by the way. Some footage from the Fantastic Four. You want to see it?
Sure.
Tomorrow's test will set the course of your entire future.
Don't you ever want to do anything exciting? Like what? What if we could go anywhere we want in the whole galaxy? A real adventure. No more pretend. I found something buried in the woods. What do you think it is?
I think it's a lost Jedi temple.
Be careful where you step. We're lost. Really lost.
'Tis dangerous out there in space. Trust no one.
You're a Jedi.
Yeah, I don't know, man. What do you think?
That would have been cooler if when she said you're a Jedi, if he would have ignited a red lightsaber and then just fucking sliced her head off.
Oh, that'd been awesome. That would have been badass.
I'm not sure. You know what, dude? I'm on the second book of the Thrawn Ascendancy series, and what I've realized is like the books are so much better than the shit that Disney's making right now.
Yeah,
like,
it's a
dude,
bummer.
You got to read the Thrawn series, man. You would. He's become my favorite character.
Thrawn? Oh, he's fucking amazing.
Yeah, like I've always liked Thrawn, and I've read the first. Like he's got a few different. He has 2 different trilogy sets. So I've read the first one, the first trilogy set. This is Ascendancy, which is all about his time in the Chiss. And dude, he's just such a fucking badass. He's not a bad guy at all. He's not, you know, he aligns with the Empire, right? But he's not a bad guy. In fact, everything he does when he's in the commander of a Chiss warship is actually all about doing good for people. It's
to like save his people, and it's ultimately even his work with the Empire is to protect like the people from this other race that he knows is going to come and attack.
And he doesn't just try to save his people. He saves they call it the Chaos. That's like their area. He really is like somebody who's out there looking out for anybody. He values people's lives, which is not really a Chiss trait. So dude, he's so fucking, I talk about him like he's a real person. He's so smart, man. I'd love to see him on Rogan's podcast. No, you know what's so crazy to me is how they can build a character with that much like backstory and that much thought into like, they really shape a really good character. I don't know what the word is for that, but I don't know, dude. They put a lot into it. Like, I'm like, I couldn't develop a character like that and come up with all these different little, like, these things that you just wouldn't expect out of somebody like that, who in the series is a badass, but like you don't get this side of him. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up because I'm not making any sense. But
no, I love it. I wonder if you'd like any of the comics too. There's
I bet I would.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff out there. People will put like they'll do like motion comics. They'll basically take the comics and they'll narrate it.
I've seen
those. I think they're fun to watch like in the background. But there's people who take actually this is not the right one. There's people who've made their own like fan made animations of some of the Thrawn stuff and Plagueis and all that stuff. There's a lot of cool shit out there. I like that trailer, by the way. Kinda. I want to like it. I don't think it's going to come out awesome though. Just a gut feeling. Also knowing behind the scenes people talk like it's kind of falling apart. Like not well received. But
Star Warsy. I don't know. I don't know what about it. You said before it's kind of like a Goonie kind of take, and it feels like Goonies.
Yeah. Which, man, again, I want to like it. God damn it! Why am I having trouble? Like I've got so much audio coming. There we go. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I like how it looks kind of. I don't love this part. I don't love seeing like suburban Star Wars. Like it just looks weird. That's the kind of shit Disney does. It just takes me out of it. But I get they're going for a new audience too. I get it. Anyway, It looks cool. And whoever said it looks like they saw Filoni and they're in. I'm usually like that, Filoni too. It looks cool, but again, apparently behind the scenes it's not tested well, and I have a feeling it's a good trailer, but it's a clusterfuck of a show. So I'm going in with super low expectations. I hope it's great.
Who are they going after? Like, they're not catering to us, right?
No.
They're catering to like our children.
Exactly. And maybe even a little younger than them too. And I would love if we get like a successful show that shows kids in Star Wars that can follow them all through their journey. And, like in 10 years, they're leads of the Star Wars movies. Like I would love to see something like that happen. If that's their plan, I don't know, but they've got a lot of great characters coming up. Omega, I think, is like one of their very, very best characters they've had.
I like Omega
in Disney Star Wars. Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah,
from the Bad Batch, she's a clone, but she's got Jedi abilities, which is super fucking cool. Yeah, they got some cool stuff. Anyway, I like seeing Jude Law in here. I think he'd be cool as a Jedi. So, we'll fucking see. Yeah.
Also, I had forgotten that the Chiss are Force sensitive.
Are they really?
When they're kids, some of them are. Yeah, they call it third sight.
Was what's his name? Was Thrawn?
No, they call them. Okay, here's what's weird. They call them Skywalkers.
No shit.
They do. They only have that ability till they're like 13. So they're called Skywalkers, and they navigate their ships using what they call third sight.
That's exactly like Dune. It's exactly like Dune. Like in Dune, like when the ships go through like warp speed or however they travel, it's from having these people that take so much spice that they turn into these fucking weirdo worms, and they're the ones who navigate space travel.
Well, that's what this is. Instead of going like in the chaos, they can't go through hyperspace without having a Skywalker.
So cool.
Is that funny? Anyway.
Yeah. I like it. It makes me want to read the books. I never will, but
why not?
Want to? I don't have that kind of attention span anymore. I would sit and watch it. I would watch if somebody were to read it and put up images on the screen the whole time, I could definitely do that. But I can't sit and read a book these days. Like, can't.
Well, I gotta fly, dude.
Yeah.
Hope you have a great day.
Sorry, I'm in a store. No, all good. I get it. Yeah, guys, appreciate you tuning in, hanging out, all that good stuff. Obviously, back tomorrow morning, same time. Henry, thank you, man. Love you. Great chatting with you. See you tomorrow. Oh, he left. Anyway, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Hope your day's awesome. See you.